Hi, Juwan. So Purdue, number one in the country. They obviously do a lot of things right. I guess what have you seen from them in the film leading up to this game that you got to try and slow down?
Well, it's so obvious that they played through Zach Edey in the post. Uh, just going back to the special year that he's having thus far, leading his team to be number one ranked in the country with one loss versus Rutgers. They also do a very good job of offensive rebounds. So that they knowing that Zach is going to shoot the ball if he gets it in the post with the one-on-one matchup, and they get themselves in great position to get a second opportunity. They also play well from the perimeter with those two freshmen. Smith is having a good year, as well as Fletcher, Lawyer. They're very patient offensively. They don't make too many mistakes. They do a great job of taking care of the basketball. And then lastly, defensively, everyone talks a lot about their offense, but their defense is, nationally ranked. They do a job of protecting the paint, three-point line. They get back in transition, and then they make you work for every bucket that you get. So if you got any answers on how to, stop them or help us offensively, please. I'm open. I'm all ears.
Hey, Juwan, how is your son Jett doing?
Well, Jett is he's going through the rehab treatment. In Jett's mind, he's saying he's going to play, but it's all about the health, and health is more important than any game. That we want to have a healthy Jett out there instead of a guy who's hobbling, and he just wanted to be there to help his team because that's how he's wired mentally. He's also a competitor and he wants to win. And he feels that when he's not playing, he's not helping the team. So the key is just continue to go through the rehab treatment and just try to help him get healthy. When I see that he's ready to go health-wise, then that's when he'll be ready to play. And I'm not saying that's going to be next game. I don't know when it's going to be.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, if you expect him to play tomorrow, but you don't know. All right. And has he practiced at all? Or?
Oh, no, he didn't practice yesterday, no.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Juwan, you mentioned Zach Edey and the season he's having. Most teams don't have a 7-foot All-American of their own to sort of counter with. Can you just sort of talk about Hunter and that matchup individually and how key it's going to be in this game?
Well, it's not going to be an individual matchup with Zach and Hunter. I know on our end it's not. Defensively for us, we're not going to focus on letting one guy guard him because it's very challenging as a team. Everyone to get an opportunity. Hopefully Doug doesn't get matched on him, but I guarantee you Doug will give it his best shot. But Zach is a player that we faced before. Hunter played against him last year twice and the year before that, so they both are very familiar with one another.
Hey, Juwan, speaking of Doug, how have you seen him grow into the role as more and more is being asked of him for a young guy? How is he developed in this short period of time as a freshman?
I think Doug has developed very well, and he's just getting better and better game by game. It's very challenging for a guy straight out of high school to step right in college and be asked to lead his team, and then playing for we're playing in one of the best conferences in basketball, the Big Ten. That's another challenge itself, and Doug is growing as an all freshman was. And you will have some moments where you're going to see some great flashes, and then you're going to have some moments where you may make a freshman mistake, but that's a part of the growing pains that as a coach and as a team we embraced and we will live with, because we trust Doug, and his being a level competitor that he is, that's one of the reasons what makes him so unique, because he competes. He wants the big moments. He never shies away from it. And he also very smart enough where he can know how to make plays for himself and others.
Hey, Juwan, we've seen Joey Baker look faster, more aggressive on the floor. He's taking the ball to the rim more. How have you seen his game grow, specifically after his hip surgery over the offseason as well?
Well, it's not easy, when you come off of surgery, and, many of us expect, yes, quick results, but it takes time, and it takes a level of comfort, health-wise, where some days you're going to feel good, some days you're going to feel bad. It also takes a level of confidence, being able to move and, and trust that, the way you move out there on the floor, that, you can be able to, if you have times where you feel like you can explode mentally, but does your body say you can explode to the basket mentally? No, that's two different things. And with the way how he's transitioning, want to do everything right, want to help his team win, and want to be effective out there on the floor, both ends of the floor. It's not an easy transition, but he's getting more and more comfortable out there, and which is good. We're going to lean on him, not only just for what he does on the floor, but also his leadership off the floor, because he's been in college for now his fifth year, and he's also played for a high program, as you guys well aware of, and he's also played in big games before. So he has that experience that we at times lack, that we need more and more of, because, when you have a freshman in Doug, freshman Jett, freshman Terrace, you can say Kobe, yes, he's a sophomore, but, he's really like a freshman out there as well, because it's his first year really playing the bulk of minutes that he's getting. But, that's a really young team that, in your rotation. And, if you look at teams around college basketball, those who are at the top, they have at least 3 guys that have been in the starting lineup before, or you have at least 5 or 6 guys that have been in your rotation before.
Juwan, speaking of the youth on this team, I remember talking to Hunter before the season about how Eli really took on a lot of that leadership last year, and Hunter really wanted to embrace that with this team. What have you seen in terms just of his presence the last few weeks as the veteran guy with a lot of young players around him?
Well, you can never replace an Eli, and that's how valuable he was to his team, because of not just, his production on the floor, but his leadership on the court, and then also in practice. One of the things that Hunter, we asking for him to improve on is leadership in practice as well as in games, and that's a part of his growth. He's not there yet, but he is embracing it, and as we continue to keep holding him accountable, and he hold himself accountable, I would feel that yes, he would never be the Eli or the leader that we had, but we need definitely leadership. One of the guys that have been a great leader for us consistently has been Jace, and we just need more leadership from guys that are in the rotation, consistent rotation minutes I'm speaking of.
Yeah. What does that look like? Is it like vocal leadership, speaking up in practice, or
yeah? I mean, leadership comes in all different ways, and in sports, it comes in in practice, how you lead and how you conduct yourself by your energy, your effort, and your voice. Leadership comes from how you prepare yourself in a weight room, the work you put in when no one's watching. Leadership comes from the work you put in on the court when there's non-practice days, or you come in early when in between classes and get extra work in. Leadership also comes in games when things are not going your way, and when teams going on runs, or we're not doing our habits, and leadership easy. You can definitely lead when you up by 20. I mean, and everybody can be a leader then, because it's everything's going great. And, that's when all the rah, rah, rah comes out. So there's always different ways to lead, but let's keep in mind too, everyone is not a leader. And that's the key, that should definitely be said, and everyone doesn't know how to lead. And that's where I know as a coach, you can't always be that leader for your players because, your voice sometimes being heard a lot can get stale.
Juwan, as you approach the halfway point of Big Ten play this season, are you pleased with how your young team has played, or do you anticipate them perhaps playing with maybe a greater sense of urgency as they try